Hello friends, neighbors, and fellow VEDSies, and welcome to day 2 of VEDS. Today I am going to do something that I'm actually taking from the VEDS that I did on my second channel, and that's called 5 Minute Friday. 5 Minute Friday is something that I came up with last year where I essentially turn the camera on, start a timer for 5 minutes, and just start talking about something. It could be anything that I want, but I can only talk about it for 5 minutes without any cuts or edits or anything like that aside from the intro that you already just saw. So, this is for me to work on my pith and, not talking so much as I tend to do, and also just a great way to make a nice, easy video that I don't really have to spend a whole lot of time editing if I don't have time to do that. So, today, now that I've spent the first minute of my 5 minutes talking about that, I am going to talk about something that I'm sure a lot of you have been thinking about since I announced I was going to do VEDS, and that is books versus movies. Books vs. Movies is a reviewing series, for those of you who somehow don't know, that I started doing, I believe, in 2010. I have done 35 Books vs. Movies reviews thus far. There's playlists that you can watch to see all of the others, but it's basically where I take a book and a movie adaptation of that book and compare them and contrast them and look at all of the different ways that the movie adapted the book to fit movie form and try to decide which one of those two is better. And it's been going on for a while, and the two are about even. Sometimes books win, sometimes movies win. So the reason I'm bringing it up now is because I haven't done one for a while, and it's easily my most popular reviewing series on this channel. I mean, that's probably the biggest request that I get for a video is when are you going to do another books versus movies review, and I haven't done one for, I think, 2 years now. And part of the reason for that is that I've just been busy and they take a lot of time and effort, and I just haven't had the time to do it. I would prefer to do a video that's a little bit easier, like a regular book or movie review that doesn't take as much time. But another reason is that I have been kind of rethinking the way that I do books versus movies review. Now don't panic, I'm not going to completely change everything overnight. I just want to share with you my thoughts. I did that with Ultimate Recommendations a while ago, and I want to share with this as well. Books vs. Movies has started to struck me as a reviewing series that doesn't have a whole lot of nuance, because it's basically, it's a boxing motif that has been the way that it's always been, and it's basically the book and the movie, and they go against each other, and one of them emerges victorious. And I think a lot of people look at that and say, oh, well, he decided the movie was better, and that's the end of it. He decided the book is better, and that's the end of it. Now, of course, if you actually look at the review and listen to all the points that we make, that Matt and Hatter make, then you get a better feel for the nuance of it that I'm looking for. What I'm really interested is not so much in deciding which one is better so much, but in really examining the ways in which we adapt stories. The ways that we take a story that was originally meant to be in text form and adapt it for the visual format. And all the different ways that we might do that, all the different ways that we might change the story or use the visuals to tell the story more compellingly, anything that we might do to make that movie stand apart from the book that it's based on. And also looking at whether or not they work, or whether they work as well as the book or better than the book. And with a few of the reviews that I've done, it's been more interesting for me to look at the ways that those adaptations work and how well they work than it is to necessarily decide which one is better. A good example of that was when I did the Alice in Wonderland review, and it was about as close as I've ever come to having a books versus movies review where I declared a tie, because as far as I was concerned, the pros and cons in both were pretty much even, and what was interesting was how they were actually adapting the story. And so what I have been kind of thinking about is not so much changing books versus movies reviews or getting rid of books versus movies reviews, but putting together something that would be kind of a supplement to books versus movies reviews. Saving books versus movies for things where there is actually a question of which one is better that I want to get answered, but doing something else for maybe some of the other stories that maybe wouldn't be nearly as interesting as a boxing motif, but would be more interesting in assigning a grade, kind of like what I do with From Stage to Screen, where I don't decide whether the screen version or the stage version is better, but how well the screen version adapts the stage version, and giving out a grade for all of these different things. So I'm kind of toying with maybe coming up with something like from page to screen, where I would do that sort of thing. That's way down the road. I'm not even considering doing it just yet, but I just wanted to share that with you because it was something that I could easily talk about in 5 minutes, which are now up. See you later.